Welcome to HueFin News. Today is November the 11th, 2017, and this is our daily cryptocurrency market analysis, whereby we give you the news according to the charts, and we do that by the price bars and the volume. And we are not investment advisors, and we are not giving you investment advice. And also, please know that investing involves risk. So as you guys can see, the market cap for today has increased to around almost $202 billion in the market. Yesterday is at 197. So that's about almost $5 billion that has came back into the market. And I think you guys and gals will know where the money went. Majority of it went, and it went to Bitcoin Cash. You guys can see that they haven't had another fantastic day of 40% increase in one day. Bitcoin is still down. They're down almost 5%. Ethereum is up almost 4.80%. Ripple is also up 1.28. Litecoin is up 3.83-3.66. And Ethereum Classic, the other cryptocurrency that we mentioned on our video yesterday that we have been eyeing, is still up 33.61%. Neo did not participate in higher prices today. They're down 0.37. Monero had a fantastic day as well, up 11%. And you guys can see IOTA is up almost 20% as well. So it's kind of like overall, the cryptocurrency market has shrugged off the massive sell-off that we have seen on yesterday. So that is a pretty good sign for the market overall to see more higher prices. And we'll talk about that as we go into each of these altcoins. So now you guys can see that Bitcoin is down 3.82%. Last trade was at $6,274.10. So we forecasted Bitcoin to continue to move lower, and that first area was around $6,200 for Bitcoin to come and touch, and it came all the way down to $6,163. But the thing that we are still seeing are precursors of weakness bars, and eventually it is our prediction that Bitcoin may come down to $6,000 and find support around $6,000. It may trade sideways for a couple of trading days, and then it might resume prices lower to around $5,500. But we will have to wait and see what type of bars we get around this $6,000 area. So just like the market did shoot higher to around $6,800 today, the market may do the same thing tomorrow, and that will be around $6,500, maybe around to the close and the open from today, which is like $6,550. So that is also a possibility that can occur for Bitcoin, because you guys can see that the bar closed off of the lows today as well. So just to take that into consideration, $6,500 may be the location to where Bitcoin will come and touch as well. But overall, precursors of weakness is still in control for this particular cryptocurrency, and we are forecasting them to at least come to $6,000. Now, if we get more precursors of weakness here at $6,000, then expect it to ultimately come down to maybe $5,500. Might come to the lows that occurred on the 28th of October, which was $5,632. So now let's go to Ethereum. So Ethereum is up 5.75%, and last trade was at $311.99. So our analysis yesterday was forecasted for Ethereum to at least come to 280, and as you guys can see, that did not occur. Maybe I think it's around 290. In either situation, it did not occur. Matter of fact, the buyers that was in on this particular bar brought Ethereum all the way up to $320, which is a phenomenal move. Tells us that the market is still eager for higher prices for Ethereum. So we will still be, we are still forecasting Ethereum to continue to move higher. but we are acknowledging the fact that we do have selling that occurred today in the market. So the market may come back down to maybe around $300, or maybe to the open and close that you guys see on these particular days. That's a very key area that you need to pay attention to. And it looked like it's maybe around $305. So the market may come down to $305 as an area to come in touch and then move higher. But overall, given the fact that we had this major push to go down bar and the market closed higher today, tells us that the market participants are still interested in higher prices for Ethereum. But just in case the market moves lower, it might come all the way down to $304, $305. So our analysis for them is to move higher, but we have to acknowledge this stockpile on today's bar. So for that acknowledgement, we will say that they may come all the way down to 305 to maybe 300. So now let's go to Bitcoin Cash. I don't think there's too much for us to say for Bitcoin Cash. They are up 37.28%. Last trade was at $1,343.80. So we have Bitcoin Cash finally made an all-time high today. Again, high today was $1,419.90. This is one of the things that I was talking about, is the volatility that you guys receive here in this particular market. This is a trader's paradise. I mean, when you have this type of volatility in the market to where you can have your money work for you and you can make 30-40% gains in one day, this is how professional traders like to trade. They like to have opportunities to where the market is giving us volatile moves up and down, either way it go, because your money is working hard for you that way. Now, when the market is like with Bitcoin Cash was around here on the 19th and the 20th, market really wasn't moving too much. Your money just really sitting there. You're not necessarily making a lot of money off of your investment. So with all that being said, it still looks as if Bitcoin Cash is going to be making higher highs, and the market, I mean, you guys can see that this particular price chart, there's nothing for us to look at in the background. But one of the things we can see is that the volume is definitely still here in Bitcoin Cash, and we will be expecting them to continue to move higher. But I'm gonna break down to a smaller time frame to see exactly what occurred, and maybe we could possibly find an area to where it can possibly fall. So $1,250 look like an area that Bitcoin Cash can and probably one day will come and touch. So just to be and acknowledge the fact that stockpile did come in on the bar, on the daily bar today, $1,250 will be that location for Bitcoin Cash to come if in fact it does move lower. But overall, our analysis is still for them to continue to move higher. And I know that some of you guys know about Fibonacci retracements. You guys can use that and place it on your chart to see what is the next likely price area that Bitcoin Cash can trade. But we do not do that here on this channel, so we will not be showing that to you. But as a matter of fact, we are still analyzing and forecasting Bitcoin Cash to make higher highs. But if it does move lower, that price area is $1,250. So now let's go to Ripple. So Ripple is up 2.24%. Last trade was at 20 cents. And Ripple is not necessarily participating in higher prices. We don't have that much of a wide spread that we do with some of the other cryptocurrencies. But we forecasted them to at least come to 21 cents yesterday. And it went all the way up to almost 20.5 cents. So that's pretty good. But we still see that that stockpile is still coming in for Ripple. And that's why we are going to maintain that 20 cent area as the support for Ripple. But the fact that the market still moved higher on this push to go down bar that we saw yesterday tells us that the market participants are still interested in higher prices. So we're still looking for them to maybe come to 22 cents or even higher if we get more volume to back a move higher. If the volume is higher, then expect it to come to around 23 cents as well. And we also are acknowledging the fact that Ripple may come all the way back down to 20 cents just for the fact that we have stockpile on today's bar. But overall, it's given us more precursors of strength than weakness. So we were looking for it to go to 22 cents at least. So now let's go to Litecoin. So Litecoin is up 4.07%. Last trade was at $61.86. So we forecasted Litecoin to come to $58 on our video yesterday, and it did that. And the market shot all the way up to a high of $63.75. We were forecasting them to at least come to $60, and the market came all the way up to almost $64. I think we said 62. I think we said on our video yesterday that Litecoin would come to 62, and it went all the way up to almost 64, which is a pretty good sign. And the fact that we said on our video yesterday that it came and touched our support line is also a positive thing. That's why we said that Litecoin will be moving lower, and we just aimed at 62. But I mean, any day that it goes higher than your original price projection is still good. Nevertheless, we still have stockpile here on today's bar, so we are forecasting, if it does move lower, for it to come to $60 as an area, and it might find support here. And if it does, it will be a precursor of strength, and then the market will move higher. But if we get more precursors of weakness here, then expect it to come to $58. Okay, $58 will be if the market is really giving us precursors of weakness from the stockpile that came in the market today. But overall, we are still liking the fact that on this widespread down bar that we had yesterday, the market was able to shoot almost the full encompass. It almost encompasses the whole spread of yesterday's bar. Tells us that the overall market for Litecoin is still giving us precursors of strength, and it might take a break tomorrow, meaning it might come down and trade sideways, maybe to 60. But ultimately, it looks like Litecoin may try to come up to $66 eventually. So that is something that we are eyeing for this particular cryptocurrency. So for tomorrow, we are acknowledging the fact that it might come down to 60. But overall, we're still expecting them to move higher as well. So now let's go to Dash. So Dash is up 3.23%. Last trade was at $345.55. So Dash did shoot lower today, but ultimately it closed higher than the close from yesterday, which tells us that the market participants are still interested in higher prices. Even though we have the stockpile here, the market has consumed all of the selling that occurred, and we still have some selling on today's bar. So if that's going to be the case, the market may come all the way back down. Well, it already came to 340. So that would have been the area that we said that Dash would come to. But ultimately, we're still trying to see Dash come up to $360. That is our forecasted price projection for Dash to come to. Ultimately is $360, and it once it reached that point, if we get more precursors of weakness here, then we will change our analysis and tell them to be moving lower. But until then, our analysis is for them to move higher. So now let's go to Neo. So Neo is up 1.89%. Last trade was at $28.25. So Neo did not necessarily participate in higher prices today. We did forecast them going to $30, and it did that. It went to $29.86. But stockpile is still in the market, and then look at the volume. Doesn't necessarily gives us the inclination that the market participants are interested in higher prices. So with that being said, and with that being on the chart, please look for Neo to possibly come all the way back down to $27. And if the market is still giving us weakness, $26 will be that area of support that NEO can possibly come and touch. But we are still noticing the fact that the market did close higher than the close from yesterday. So there's a slim possibility for NEO to move higher, and then we will just say it come back to that $30 area that it did today. If the market is overly strong, give us more precursor strength than $31, maybe to like the highs, $31.25, $31.50 could be where NEO is going to be trading. But one of the things that we did not like to see for higher prices is the fact that we don't have that volume. So the volume appears tomorrow, then definitely it will go up to $30 and maybe $31.50. But if we get the same amount of volume today for tomorrow, then the market will not be going up that high. So let's go to Ethereum Classic. So Ethereum Classic is up 36.79%. Last trade was at $19.79. So we told you on our video yesterday that we still felt that Ethereum Classic was going to be making higher highs, and look what we got today, a massively push to go up bar for Ethereum Classic. We also have the volume back in this particular move, and the fact is that this one particular bar has encompassed all of the previous weeks, previous trading days, and it tells us that Ethereum Classic is going to be making higher highs again, and now we just need to try to determine where it's going to be. And it looked like Ethereum Classic is going to try to come back up to that $20 area, but ultimately we're looking for them to at least come to 21. That is going to be the location for Ethereum Classic that we are forecasting them to at least come to, is to $21. Okay. Now, granted, this is a very wide push to go up bar, which is a very strong precursor of strength. So the market may actually move all the way up to 24, or the high that occurred on the 2nd of September, which was $24.45. But currently, we're just looking for them to come to 22. So now let's go to the last one. So Monero is up 13.54%. Last trade was at $121.60. So it is today's bar just shows you how the market just shrugged off that push to go down bar that we saw yesterday, which was a precursor of weakness. And it tells us that Monero will also be making higher highs as it's doing right now. That's how fast the market moves. So ultimately, we're still looking for Monero to come back and touch to at least $125, but ultimately it may come to $130 again as well. So expect that for Monero. That is in the short term analysis for Monero, for them to at least move to $130. Yeah, so expect Monero to at least come to $130 and might try to move it to the high that occurred here on the 7th of September, which was around $135, almost $136 for Monero. So our analysis for them to continue to move higher though. So we do have the stockpile on today's bar. So before I go, I want to tell you where it might come and touch in the short term. So Monero may possibly come to $116, $115 if the market is actually giving us a little precursors of weakness, but if giving us more than that, then expected to come to 112. So that is going to be our analysis for Monero. So that's all we have for today. Appreciate the new subscribers and everyone who's been with us since the very beginning. It's our purpose on this channel to show you that you necessarily don't need to have a lot of confusion on your charts, because it makes you slow to react and it puts more doubts into your mind, into your trading, than you having anything on your chart, as what we've been showing you and how accurate we've been in our analysis. So we want you to gain that confidence as well. Continue to watch these videos to gain that confidence, and you too will also see the importance of understanding the language of the markets. So that's all we have for today. You guys have a good one, and I'll talk to you later.